Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig into the sources, pull out the knowledge, and basically give you the core insights you need.
That's the plan.
Today, we are diving deep, really deep, into American comedy. Specifically, we're focusing on David Benjamin Wain.
Ah, yes, David Wain.
Born August 1st, 1969, Shaker Heights, Ohio. Now, he's listed as, comedian, writer, actor, director.
Does all of it.
Right. But I think we can argue he's really the architect of a whole style, this modern absurdist ensemble thing.
Absolutely. Architect is a good word, because when you look back over, 30 plus years now?
Yeah, since 91, roughly.
It's the same faces popping up again and again, the same kind of bizarre, very specific sensibility. It's really remarkable.
And his career, it's just completely defined by collaboration, isn't it? And just the sheer amount of work he's produced.
Totally. The volume is kind of nuts. Yeah. But it's not just hiring actors, right? It's like he cultivates this creative family.
Yeah, family's a good way to put it.
And those lines between directing, writing, acting, they get really blurry in his projects.
Because it feels like the group makes it for the group.
Exactly. There's this baseline of trust. You feel it in the work.
And that trust, it's given us some seriously memorable comedies over the last, quarter century.
Oh, for sure. You've got the absolute cult classic, Wet Hot American Summer.
From 2001. Still amazing.
Then he manages to pivot somehow to mainstream success with Role Models in 2008.
Which was huge.
Yeah, and then back to weird stuff like Wanderlust in 2012, and that incredible parody that came together.
I think 14, yeah, with Rudd and Polar. Just brilliant.
And that's just the movies. We haven't even touched the TV universe.
Right. Children's Hospital.
Medical Police, his voice work. Super Jail.
That warden voice. Unforgettable.
So our mission today really is to kind of unpack how he did that. How does that work?
Yeah, how do you take that raw, almost chaotic energy from your first comedy troupes?
Back in the 90s sketch scene.
And turn that into a career, a sustainable one.
Yeah.
That keeps bringing back the same core group of people for decades.
It's really unusual, especially in Hollywood, which usually focuses on, the one big star.
So that's what we want you, the listener, to get a handle on today. How did Wain build this collaborative engine, and how does he keep it running?
Okay, so to understand this collaboration thing, we got to go back right to the beginning.
Shaker Heights, Ohio. Born into a Jewish family, parents Nina and Norman Wain. Seems like a pretty, standard middle-class background.
Yeah, the sources point to that, but the really key thing, the experience that apparently shaped his comedy, it wasn't just his general upbringing.
What was it then?
It was summer camp, seriously. He went to a camp in Canaan, Maine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that experience, that specific setting, the counselors, the kids, the woods, the whole vibe that became the sort of the loose inspiration for Wet Hot American Summer.
His first movie.
Yes.
So the seeds were planted really early.
Absolutely. It's like he took this really familiar, almost nostalgic American thing, this summer camp movie.
Or like Meatballs or something.
Yeah. Exactly. But then filtered it through this just completely bizarre, deeply committed, absurdist lens. That's the Wain touch right there.
Okay, so from camp in Maine and growing up in Ohio, he heads to New York, NYU Film School, starting in '88.
And this is where things really kick off, because he's not just learning about cameras and editing, he's finding his people. Immediately.
Right. He hooks up with others and becomes a founding member of this sketch group, the New Group.
Which pretty quickly turns into...
The State. Legendary.
Absolutely legendary. And the State is so crucial here. It wasn't just a TV show on MTV.
No, it was like a boot camp for that whole ensemble.
Totally. It ran for, 26 episodes between 93 and 95?
Something like that.
And Wain wasn't just starring in sketches, playing all these weird characters. He was also co-directing most of them.
With Michael Patrick-Yan, right?
Yep. So he's learning the craft from both sides of the camera, how to shoot fast, how to cut it funny, how to get that specific, high-energy, absurdist performance out of a big group.
That show had such a manic energy.
Incredible pace. And the fact that they all co-wrote that book, State by State with the State.
Yeah, I remember that book.
It just shows that collective ownership. It wasn't one writer's voice, it was the group's voice.
Okay, so the State ends in 95. MTV moves on. How do you keep that creative momentum going without that platform? That seems like a critical moment.
It was, and the answer was Stella.
The Suits.
The Suits. In 1997, he teams up with two other key guys from the State, Michael Ian Black and Michael Showalter.
The core trio.
Exactly. And this wasn't just The State Part 2, it was different. A pivot. They really refined their style here.
How so? What was different about Stella?
Well, The State was, rapid-fire sketches, lots of characters, very broad in some ways.
Yeah, channel surfing energy.
Right. Stella was narrower, maybe, but the humor got way more surreal. High-concept stuff. Just the three of them, usually in suits, dealing with really mundane problems.
But with this intense, totally illogical seriousness.
Exactly. It started as this cult live show in New York City nightclubs. Ran for ages.
They built a real following just from the live show.
And they toured it. And crucially, they started making the Stella shorts.
Those little videos, they were kind of precursors to viral internet stuff, weren't they? Totally. Short little films, skits, usually just a few minutes long, perfect for the early internet.
Yeah.
And they showed that Wain, Black, and Showalter could sustain one single absurd idea with absolute commitment.
Which all led eventually to the Stella series on Comedy Central in 2005.
Right. And if you trace it back, that partnership, Wain, Black, Showalter, that's the absolute nucleus.
Showalter co-wrote and co-produced Wet Hot with Wain, right?
Yep. So that specific sense of humor, that shared language they developed in the State, refined in Stella. That was the engine that powered Wain's jump into making movies.
And the loyalty, keeping that core together, that seems to be the real differentiator.
Okay, so moving from downtown comedy clubs and basic cable sketch shows to making actual feature films, that's a huge leap.
Massive. But he didn't go alone, did he? He basically brought the whole gang with him. Pretty much. His debut film, Wet Hot American Summer in 2001, it was all about the ensemble.
But that must have been a huge risk, right? A first-time director, super niche, absurdist comedy.
Oh, absolutely. Huge risk. He directed it, co-wrote it with Showalter, co-produced it. The whole concept absurdist summer camp comedy wasn't exactly mainstream catnip.
No kidding. It felt like an inside joke sometimes, but in the best way.
Totally. It was low budget, a real passion project. It was designed to capture that exact sketch energy, those inside jokes. And the comedy demanded total commitment from the actors.
Like that bit about needing to go into town right now, even though it's just a short walk, they play it deadly serious.
Exactly. 100% commitment to the absurdity. And that's why the cast list is just insane.
It's mind-blowing looking back. You had established names like Janeane Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce.
Right, but then you had all these people who were about to explode. Paul Rudd.
Pre-Anchorman Paul Rudd.
Christopher Maloney doing comedy. Bradley Cooper in one of his first roles. Amy Poehler, Ken Marino, Elizabeth Banks.
It's like a who's who of the next 20 years of comedy. How did he even get them all for a weirdo, low-budget first film?
Well, the network was already there, see. A lot of them were friends from the State or friends of friends from the New York comedy scene.
So they trusted Wain and Showalter.
Implicitly. They knew the script was hilarious, even if it was bizarre, and they knew the set would be collaborative and fun. It was like, let's all go make this crazy thing together.
A collective gamble, basically.
Yeah, and even though it bombed at the box office initially,
Totally bombed.
it set the absolute template for Wain's whole approach. Trust the ensemble, lean into the absurdism, and the talent will make it work, even if it takes the audience a while to catch up.
Which they definitely did with Wet Hot. Okay, so after that cult success, what came next? The 10.
The 10, yeah, 2007. And this one was like pure, uncut Wain. He directed, wrote, and produced it.
Based on the 10 Commandments, kind of loosely.
Very loosely. Again, huge ensemble. Winona Ryder was in it, Paul Rudd again.
But this one didn't quite land, did it?
No. It showed that maybe pure sketch-style absurdity, just a collection of weird, unrelated vignettes, was a tough sell for a wider movie audience.
Right. It had a super short theatrical run, went to DVD pretty quick.
It felt like another passion project, but maybe it showed him he needed some kind of recognizable structure if he wanted to reach more people.
Which brings us right to the big one, the pivot. Role Models, 2008.
Yep. His first widely released film, as the sources say. And this is where he proved he could blend his style with, actual Hollywood filmmaking.
It felt like Wain, but accessible.
Exactly. It's like he grafted his sensibility onto a more grounded concept. The premise is pretty standard studio comedy, right? Two screw-ups forced to mentor kids.
Classic setup.
But he fills it with his people, Paul Rudd, Elizabeth Banks again, then adds Seann William Scott, Jane Lynch, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and the script just crackles with that fast Wain dialogue, those weird little character details.
And he's in it too.
Oh.
As Chevron Bain, the LARPer.
Of course he is. He loves putting himself in there.
And this one worked. Critically, commercially.
Oh, yeah. Positive reviews, big opening weekend, like $19 million.
Yeah.
It proved that the Wain rhythm, the sharp jokes, the fast cuts, the total commitment to weird supporting characters could totally work in a mainstream movie, as long as the story had something relatable at its core.
So Hollywood starts trusting him more, leads to bigger budgets.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Which takes us to Wanderlust in 2012. He directed this one, co-wrote it with Ken Marino.
Another sweet and wet hot guy, keeping it in the family.
Always. And here, they keep the ensemble feel, but add serious star power. Jennifer Aniston, Paul Rudd again, obviously, Melanie Ackerman, Alan Alda.
Wow, Alan Alda in a David Wain movie. That's something.
Right. It shows the studios were willing to invest in his collaborative model. They saw he could handle A-listers, but still keep that specific comedic vibe alive.
And he sneaks in another cameo, right? As a weatherman.
Always finds a way. Just has to be physically present in the world he's building.
So if Role Models and Wanderlust were him meeting Hollywood halfway, maybe?
Then 2014's They Came Together was him running gleefully back to his absurdist roots.
Oh, man, I love that movie. Just a full-on parody of romantic comedies.
Directed it, co-wrote it with Showalter again. See? That's Stella core. That's his creative home base.
And starring Rudd and Amy Poehler, who by then were totally part of his regular crew.
Plus Ed Helms, Kobe Smulders, Max Greenfield, Christopher Maloney again.
Another stacked cast.
Yeah.
And he acts in this one, too, as Keith.
Yep. It's like a meta takedown of every rom-com trope imaginable. It shows this pattern. He proves he can handle the big studio stuff, but he always circles back to the pure passion projects with his tight-knit group.
That makes sense. And then there's a bit of a shift later with A Futile and Stupid Gesture in 2018.
Yeah, that one's interesting because he only directed it, didn't co-write it.
It's the National Lampoon story about Doug Kenny.
Right, starring Will Forte, Domhnall Gleeson. It showed he could step outside his own writing voice and just be a director handling a complex biography.
Still produced it, acted as an interviewer, apparently.
He can't help himself. But the main focus was directing someone else's script. Shows a certain kind of maturity or versatility in his career, maybe.
Okay, so he proves he can conquer Hollywood features, both mainstream and weird. But where does he consistently go to, like, recharge that creative battery and keep the ensemble working?
Television. Gotta be television. It just offers the perfect setup for his style.
How so?
Well, the speed, the repetition, the ability to do high-concept stuff without needing a massive movie budget. It's perfect for that ensemble workshop feel.
And the most obvious example is him returning to his own origin story, basically.
The Netflix Wet Hot shows, it's kind of amazing they pulled it off.
2 whole series based on the 2001 movie. Co-written, directed, acted in by Wain, with Showalter right there beside him.
It's like the ultimate commitment to a bit spanning almost 20 years, and it relied completely on getting that original cast back.
Playing teenagers when they're in their 40s.
Which is part of the joke. The first one, First Day of Camp, came out in 2015. 8 episodes, a prequel.
And somehow, they got almost everyone back. It's incredible.
And critics actually liked the series more than the original movie, generally.
Yeah, I remember that. Why do you think?
Maybe the absurdity, the heightened reality, just works better in short, episodic bursts. You can reset the weirdness every episode.
Makes sense. And then they did the sequel series 10 years later in 2017.
Yep. And Wain's in both as Euron, the weird Israeli dude.
But the peak Wain absurdity has to be him playing Bill Clinton in 10 years later.
Oh my God, yes. Just completely straight-faced. That's it. That's the essence. Meta humor combined with utter, unwavering dedication to the strangest possible choice.
But beyond Wet Hot, the real engine room, the place where that core group really lived and breathes for almost a decade. It has to be Children's Hospital, right?
Absolutely critical. You can't understand Wain's sustained output without understanding Children's Hospital, 2008 to 2016.
What made it so important?
It was like his comedy laboratory. He was a creator, developer, producer, writer, directed a bunch of episodes.
And acted in it.
Of course. As Rabbi Jewy McJuju, or just as himself sometimes.
The structure was genius, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Short episodes, parodying medical dramas.
But like an anti-procedural. The premises were completely absurd and would change constantly, sometimes even mid-scene. It let him keep his whole network busy. Rob Corddry, Ken Marino, Aaron Hayes, Lake Bell, Henry Winkler even.
All constantly working, playing, experimenting, without the pressure of a big network show or a coherent plotline.
Exactly. Low stakes, high concept, They could push the meta humor, constantly breaking the fourth wall. It was just a playground for them all.
And he basically replicated that formula later with Medical Police in 2020.
Pretty much. Creator, writer, exec producer, director, same vibe, different plot scaffold. It's how he keeps the machine going. He creates these self-contained worlds for his family to play in.
We see it again with Newsreaders too, right? The news magazine parody.
Yep, 2013 to 2015. Creator, EP, directed a segment, acted in it as Jim Davidson.
And even recently, like Mr. Throwback in 2024 EP, directing episodes. He just keeps building these platforms.
Relentlessly. But we also got to talk about his whole other career in voice acting.
Right. Uses that same absurdist energy, just vocally.
His biggest starring role there was probably the warden on Adult Swim Super Jail.
Oh man, the warden. What a character.
2008 to 2014. Just pure maximalist chaos in vocal form. Effusive, kind of terrifying, totally over the top. It's perfect for Wain's sensibility.
Cold commitment again.
Always. But maybe the voice roles people hear most often are on Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah. Who does he play there?
He's Courtney Wheeler, the annoying rich girl.
Oh, right, with the necklace locket thing.
That's the one. And also Grover Fishoder, Calvin Fishoder's brother.
The eccentric one. He's done those since 2012, right? Even in the movie.
Yep, over 15 episodes. He really embeds himself in these established worlds, too. Plus other stuff like Sheep in the Big City way back, Big City Greens, Tuca and Birdie.
He gets around, but if we're talking about keeping the network alive during tricky times like the early days of web video, we have to mention Wainy Days.
Oh, Wainy Days is essential. Absolutely essential. Ran for 5 seasons, 2007, 2011, on my damn channel.
Which was like a real pioneer platform back then.
Totally. And the show itself was a masterclass in doing a lot with very little.
What was the premise again? He's playing himself, kind of?
Yeah, a fictionalized, pathetic version of David Wain. Navigating dating in New York, everyday life, and for some reason, working in a sweatshop.
Right, the sweatshop. So weird. And he'd talk about his problems with friends.
Exactly. The episodes were short, super low budget, looked like they were shot in his apartment sometimes.
But the guest stars, that's the key.
Yeah.
It proved everyone would still show up for him, no matter how small the project.
Absolutely. Regulars included Zandy Hardig, A.D. Miles, Matt Ballard. But the guests... Jonah Hill, Jason Sudeikis, Rob Corddry, Thomas Lennon, Josh Charles.
Paul Rudd, Michael Ian Black, obviously.
Of course. It just showed whether it's MTV, Comedy Central, or some brand new web channel nobody's heard of, his people will come play because they trust the creative environment. It's fun, it's safe.
And Zandy Hardig, who was key to making Wainy Days happen, she later became his wife, right?
Yep. Which, again, just highlights how intertwined his personal and professional life became in sustaining this whole collaborative engine. It's all connected.
You know, looking at all this, the thing that really jumps out is just the sheer consistency of the cast across decades.
Rudd, Marino, Banks, Poehler, Maloney, Showalter, Black. It's like a repertory company.
It's not just random casting, is it? It feels deliberate. Like there's something specific about the environment Wain creates that keeps them coming back.
I think it has to be. It seems less like a traditional director dictating everything and more like facilitating. He lets their comedic voices shine.
So they feel valued creatively.
Exactly. When actors trust the director, trust the process, and know they can bring their A game and it'll be appreciated, they return. That loyalty, that shared comedic language they built way back, that seems to be the core of it.
But shared language is key. Okay, maybe let's touch on some personal details that kind of frame this period. He lives in L.A. now, right? Makes sense for the work.
Yeah, based in Los Angeles. And you mentioned Zandy Hardig, who was so involved in Wainy Days and other projects. They got married in 2009.
They divorced later, in 2015, I think. And they have 2 sons together.
Right. That constant overlap between the personal and the professional just seems central to how he operates, how this network functions.
Which brings us to his most recent and maybe most unexpected project.
The Middle-Aged Dad Jam Band.
I just love the name. It's perfect.
Isn't it? He started it during the pandemic, apparently. And he plays the drums.
Of course he does. And guess who else is in the band?
Let me guess.
Ken Marino.
Bingo, another State alum, longtime collaborator, playing guitar.
It's amazing. After conquering basically every platform, MTV, cable, movies, streaming, he goes back to the absolute simplest form of collaboration, just jamming with his buddy.
It feels like pure passion, right? Completely outside the Hollywood machine, just making noise for the fun of it.
Performance for its own sake. It really feels like it connects all the way back to the early days, doesn't it? Yeah. Like the spirit of the state, or Stella just doing stuff to make each other laugh or entertain whoever shows up. But now it's music instead of sketches about, I don't know, pudding.
Exactly. It's like a full circle thing. Back to pure communal fun.
We should also probably mention he wasn't just making the comedy, he was also commenting on it for a long time.
Oh, yeah, those VH1 shows. I love the 70s. I love the 90s, part 2.
Best week ever. He was a fixture on those talking head shows.
Right. So he's deeply embedded in the comedy scene, not just as a creator, but as someone who clearly loves and understands its history, too.
Like he's both making the history and narrating it at the same time. Hashtag outro.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for you, the listener, from this whole deep dive into David Wain?
I think for me, it's that his success isn't really about one single towering genius figure. It's about the power of the group, the sustained ensemble.
Right. It started with the State, got solidified with Stella. That gave him the trust and the talent pool to even attempt something like Wet Hot.
And then he used the mainstream success from films like Role Models
to basically fund and populate his more niche-specific TV stuff, like the Wet Hot series, like Children's Hospital. It's a cycle.
And what makes it all hold together, what gives it that lasting appeal, is that he never really ditched his core sensibility.
Never. Even in the big studio movies, that absurdist streak, that commitment to the weird joke, it's always there under the surface.
And because he keeps using the same core people, the ones who get that language, there's this amazing sense of familiarity across all his projects.
Yeah, you know what you're getting, in a good way. Whether it's a web short or a Netflix series, you're getting that specific, reliable, committed Wainiverse voice. It's comforting almost.
It's a really adaptable model, too.
Yeah.
Based entirely on loyalty. He went from MTV to Comedy Central to web channels to Netflix, HBO Max.
Yeah.
He follows the platforms.
Which leads us to our final provocative thought for you to mull over.
Given this history of adapting, of always finding new outlets, and given this latest move, the middle-aged dad jam band.
Yeah, think about that. His career has always sort of moved back towards these lower pressure, more communal things, right? From the big screen, back to TV, back to web series.
And now, literally just playing drums with his friend Ken Marino.
Could this be more than just a pandemic hobby? Could this shift towards something so low stakes, so purely about the joy of collaboration? Could it signal where his creative energy is really headed next?
Like, is he maybe consciously pulling back from the whole Hollywood feature film grind?
And choosing instead to return, maybe more permanently, to just pure communal performance, favoring the simple fun of playing with friends over the headaches of big productions.
Something to think about next time you watch Wet Hot or Role Models. Where does that energy go from here?
Definitely something to chew on.
Okay.
That's our deep dive on David Wain.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one.